Sometimes you gotta load your LLMs programmatically as part of a script, and that load time is only gonna be as fast as your storage. So today I'm measuring LLM load times from storage all the way to this 5090 rig I got over here, and I'm using my slowest thumb drive all the way to the fastest drive I have available. And this is a sequential read, and my thumb drive comes in at a measly 73 megabytes a second. Oh no. Now to get this done, you can use LM Studio, and it has a little convenient function here where you can go to My Models and select where the models are being loaded from. You can change the path. So that's exactly what I did. And then I wrote a script to load the model up and time it. So here's our first contender. Let's go. Okay, it's loading the model. 70%. 72. I mean, it's an 18 gigabyte file, so you'd think it's got to read 18 gigabytes from that thumb drive, that measly, tiny, old thumb drive. LM Studio is being pretty optimistic here. It's telling me 82% is complete. Somehow, I don't think so. Now that's plugged into the 10 gigabit port, the USB 3.2, that one right there. Ah, that's hot. Well, I think I have time for a little bit of coffee. 95%. I think I may have time for lunch too. All right, what did I miss? 228 seconds. That is a long time to wait for this model to load. So what if you wanted to improve that and use the 40 gigabit connection? This thumb drive is much faster. Let's plug that in. This one actually clocks in at 390 megabytes per second read speed. Now, in order to actually purge this stuff from memory, I downloaded the little program called RAM Map on Windows. This will allow you to easily purge your system memory. Let's go. This one should be a bit faster, but we'll see. Do I have time for a sandwich? Probably not at this point. Huh? Oh, that's not bad. 52 seconds. I mean, it's still bad, but let's see if we can cut that time down by using this. This is actually a Thunderbolt 4 enclosure, but it should work with our USB 4 plug port, and it should be a lot faster than that thumb drive. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 3160 read, 498 write. We don't really need that, but that's 10 times faster than what we've seen before, going through the same port. This should give us much better results. Gonna kick off LM Studio and let's run our script. Boom. And there it goes, loading up. 30%, 40. It's definitely going faster than the thumb drive, but it's still external and it's okay, it's done. 13 seconds. That's actually really good. Can we shave time off of that? Well, hopefully with this drive, this says 14,900. We'll get to that one. Now I do have a Thunderbolt 5 enclosure, but there is no USB 5 yet, or Thunderbolt 5 on this board. So we're gonna skip that. But I do have a couple of other interesting options here. One is a NAS, an all SSD NAS, and one is a DAS. NAS, network attached storage, which I've shown before to use with LLMs on the channel, and DAS is direct attached storage. Let's see how these do. This is Terramaster's brand new all SSD NAS, and it's really cute. It's as big as a mini PC, so it'll probably fit inside one of your little mini racks. Let's see. Huh? No. Well, from the back. Nope, not that one. Probably something like this. PCIe 3. This thing has its own RAM. So probably not the best use case. You can store your LLMs on there, but only offload them to it. Don't run your LLMs off of a NAS. I'm gonna put this SSD in there, but we're not gonna get full speeds off of that. You need a PCIe Gen 5 NVMe holster in order to take advantage of that full speed. So after a couple minutes, the NAS is set up. It's a whole operating system. Basically, it's a little computer. You can run Docker from it. You can run things like Jellyfin or Plex server to do your media streaming. You can monitor things like temperatures, but what we need is the IP address here. Well, it seems like it's a little bit slower, but considering this NAS can hold multiple terabytes worth of data, this is not bad. If you need to offload your models, which I often do, you store it on something like this, and then you can swap them back and forth when you need to. I wouldn't run them off of this, but let's run it off of that and see what happens. By the way, that write speed was pretty good too. I've already cleared the memory, and boom, let's go. Here it is. Loading up off of the NAS. I do not have time for coffee, it seems. I could kind of use one right now. Seems like it's gonna be just a tad bit slower than that 40 gig connection from the thumb drive. This also is dependent on what kind of networking setup you have, since the only connection between this and the computer is the Ethernet cable, and it's going through the switch that I have, which is a 2.5 gig switch. If you're on a faster network, like a 10 gig one, then you'll be limited by the 10 gig connection. But I have a feeling this is gonna be much faster than the 10 gig port thumb drive that we first tried. And we're at 71 seconds. I want it to be a little bit faster. So that's where the DAS comes in. It gives us the same amount of storage, all SSD drives, terabytes and terabytes of them. You can have 4 SSDs in there. Pick and choose your speed of the SSDs, and then pick and choose the size. I believe this goes up to 32. Look familiar? They look almost identical, don't they? But this one doesn't have an Ethernet port. Oh, by the way, that NAS had an HDMI output. You could just use it to stream directly to your TV. The DAS only has one connection, which is that 40 gigabit per second connection. The DAS is a bit slower than I expected for the read speed, but it's probably limited because of PCI 3. Let's see how that reflects in our speed test. And let's go. Loading up fast enough, and there it goes. That's not bad. That's 18 seconds. So far, second place. And we can do better by using the internal SSD that I have in there. And that's using the Samsung 990 Pros, which are rated about 7,000, a little more than 7,000 megabytes per second. Not quite these speeds. This one's next. And yeah, there we go. We got 7,375 for the read speed. I'm getting to be a pro at shutting down LM Studio and turning it back on. Let's go. Let's see how fast this one will be. Ooh. That was good. 10 seconds? That's the winner so far. Can we go faster than that? I think it's time. It's time to go all the way. All right, I've got this SSD loaded up in here. Let's do a speed test. Oh my gosh. What? 14,800? It says 14,900 on the box. That is the fastest I've ever seen. And the write speed is 14,002. That is insane. It can read and write almost 15 gigabytes per second. All right. I'm gonna transfer this file, which is 18 gigabytes in size, this model, to this new drive. Let's see how long that takes. Drop. Oh, wow. How long was that? Like 4 seconds, something like that. Let's transfer this 31 gigabyte file, which is the Q8 version. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. Even my MacBook doesn't do it this fast. That was 31 gigabytes. Unbelievable. Okay, let's do this test. I'm just blown away by this. Excuse me, it's the first time I'm trying a drive this fast. I know it's been around for a couple months, but here we go. LM Studio loaded. Test is loaded. Let's see if this translates to the load time of the LLM and how quickly it does. Start that, and there it goes. It's loading up. It's not that fast. What? Okay, it was fast at the end, but it wasn't that fast at the beginning. 10 seconds. That's not even that much faster than the other drive. If I do it again, we're gonna see that it's gonna be much faster, but that's because it's already being loaded from memory. 8.49 seconds. But you know what? Let me eject both of these. Notice how LM Studio allowed me to have both of them at the same time. And I'm gonna empty my standby list, my memory, and I'm gonna close LM Studio just for the heck of it. Empty all my memory, working sets, everything, so we get a clean slate. And let's open up LM Studio one more time and run this. Boom. Okay, 8.89 seconds that time. So it is faster. That 18 gigabyte model that I'm loading right now has to be read entirely from the storage device, which is in this case that fast SSD, and go up to system memory. And from system memory, it gets transferred to the VRAM of the GPU. So that's a lot of moving around in 8.89 seconds. And you can imagine what's gonna happen with larger models. It's just gonna take a little bit longer. So hopefully when you're architecting your project, you're taking into account that model load time and you're designing your applications in such a way that doesn't require that bottleneck too much. So that was load times. Now, if you want to know more about actually running LLMs and how fast they go on this 5090, watch this video right over here next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.